Up next on End of the Day Beer Review, we're going to be looking at Desolation. This is an Imperial Stout aged 36 months in a Heaven Hill Bourbon barrel and conditioned on vanilla beans from Papua New Guinea, a medium roast organic Mexican coffee beans. Comes in at 14% ABV. Check it out. Hi everybody, it's Rich and welcome to the End of the Day Beer Review. And today we are going to be looking at one of the beers that I received from Will. Will, once again, thank you. This is called Disassociation, and it has like little pictures of people in like little isolation booths, which I think is sort of cool. It says that this was packaged on May of 2024. Right now it is later January of 2025. And it says that it is brewed and packaged by Celestial Beerworks, 2530 Butler Street, Dallas, Texas. So we are looking at an Imperial Stout aged 36 months in a Heaven Hill Bourbon barrel and conditioned on vanilla beans from Papua New Guinea. Medium roast organic Mexican coffee beans as well. It's coming at 14% ABV. Now, whenever I can and I do a bourbon barrel beer, I try to get the bourbon so we can actually try it. So I do have, I didn't go out and buy a bottle of Heaven Hills. I didn't honestly want to go and drop, around me it's like $55 for the bottle without actually trying it. And I was lucky enough to be able to get some from a friend. So we're going to try Heaven Hills Bottled and Bond. Now, not going to go crazy with it, but it is here in the glass. Now, I believe this is 90 proofish, and again, I think this is also the company that makes like Elijah Craig and all of those. So, you know, a well-known company. Maybe Evan Williams, I'm not sure. This has a really nice nose. You get sort of a caramel, sweetness of the corn is there. What's funny is the ethanol isn't there. It's sort of like, yeah, sort of like a caramel corn sort of mix. But there's this beautiful sweetness. Now I'm gonna just put the glass on its side for a couple of minutes, not even a couple of minutes, while I open up the beer. Now, once again, this was you know, sent to me from Will. Will was kind enough to send me that beer mail a while back. So let's take a look. Actually, he also said that he did the wax job on this himself, which I really appreciate the effort that went into this. It is a nice, all right, there's that. Let's give it one more try. I have to get this is actually proving to me that I need a better small knife in the bar, which I do not have handy right now. All right, there we go. Gonna use my fish opener, crack this open, and my snifter glass for the Imperial Stout. Gonna pour, and ooh, this pours jet black, syrupy, just a hint of carbonation on top. So you're talking about, like, from the looks of it, it's just gorgeous. And a good amount of that beer is clinging to that glass, which is not surprising considering the ABV. This is coming in at 14%. Now, you know, sweet, sort of caramel cornish, maybe a little, maybe a hint of like an apple in the background. Maybe that's it. Maybe it's more like toffee apple that I'm getting. You know what I mean? Like you get at a caramel or a store or something like that, where it's like the apple that's been dipped. So a very nice nose on the whiskey itself. Oh my God. The nose on this is freaking epic. So it's coffee, dark roast coffee. A good amount of chocolate. And what's really funny is I'm also getting this dark fruit in the middle of it, sort of a figginess that's there. But yeah, definitely like a dark chocolate with that roasted coffee. Yeah, sort of a dark fruit figginess in the middle. Oh, but the coffee aroma on this is just decadent. You know, I gotta tell you, I don't want the nose on the Heaven Hill. I think it's gonna be so strong that I think it's gonna blow out my ability to taste the beer. So I'm gonna go with the beer first, and I'm gonna put the bourbon aside for just a bit. Don't worry, we won't waste the bourbon. It reminds me of something from my childhood too. Oh God, I just can't place it, but it is a beautiful, beautiful nose on this beer. I can't wait to taste it. That is nice. Wow. Okay, so thick as molasses this is. This is very, very viscous. Coats the mouth, stays there. Front of the tongue, I'm getting chocolate. I really am. I'm getting more of that sort of chocolatey, roasty flavor to it, and some sweetness. Middle of the tongue, that chocolate slowly converts over to that flavor of a dark roast coffee. Right on the back of the tongue, I get just a hint of sweetness, which is probably going to be the vanilla. What I'm not getting is a tremendous amount of the vanilla. Now, what does it say on this? It says bourbon barrel conditioned on vanilla beans from Papua New Guinea and Mexican roast organic Mexican coffee beans. Okay, the coffee is all over this. So it's almost like you're getting coffee with this sort of like chocolate sort of sweetener in it. It's excuse me. That's a great beer. A good amount of chocolate, good amount of roast. It mixes up nicely. Now, is there a flaw in this at all? I see one. The ethanol is a little bit pronounced. Particularly as you swallow and it goes down and it sort of goes up into the olfactory, you sort of get a little bit more of that burn. And you also get a little of it like right in the belly. Now, I'm only 2 sips in on this, and it is 14%. So I'm not talking about like, you know, a tremendous amount of burn. If I were to drink this and not have any of the information that's on the bottle, I would think it was maybe 7, maybe 8%, not 14. So this drinks like a much, much lower ABV beer. But it is a gorgeous sort of like coffee, chocolate, sweetened experience as you drink this. And the way it sort of just sticks to the tongue is beautiful. So would I get Disassociation again? Jesus, yeah, I absolutely would. This is one of those beers that I imagine would just cellar beautifully. You know, like it would just, you know, mellow as it ages, and that mellow would probably take away that sort of what I'm seeing as sort of a slightly hot ABV. But this is lovely. Let's give the bourbon a shot. And you know, sitting there for a bit, it has lost some of that ethanol smell. Now, I have to be honest, nose to nose, I do not see the tie-in. But now I do. Oh my God. The barrel comes through. That's what I was missing in the middle. the oak from this is really, really pronounced when you jump into this beer. I'm starting to take back, I don't think it was an ethanol burn I was getting. I think it was more of an oakiness from the actual bourbon barrel. Wow, this stays true to the barrel. You know, this is one of the reasons why when I do the bourbon barrel beers, I like to actually have the bourbon in front of me to give it a try. And I have to say, this is such a faithful representation of the bourbon. Not on the nose. The nose, the bourbon is much sweeter, much more, how do I put it? You know you're going to get sort of an alcohol hit on this. And I want to say it's probably like about 94, 95 proof. And you have that oaky sort of back palate on it. That's what I was misinterpreting here. Yes, there is still the alcohol burn, but what I was thinking of as ethanol in the middle of this taste is really just the oak of the barrel. Excuse me. Wow. Yeah, this stays very, very true to the oak in that barrel. So, you know, I have to tell you, this is a very impressive beer. So, once again, this is Disassociation. Now, Disassociation is by Celestial Beerworks, and it is brewed and packaged by Celestial Beerworks, and it's 2530 Butler Street. Now, this beer is not something that I've ever tried before, or quite frankly, ever seen in my area before, because, you know, this was sent to us by Will. And again, Will, thank you so much. This is a great beer. Would I purchase it again? Yeah, absolutely I would purchase it again. In fact, I'm going to look into how to purchase it again. So it's one of those ones that if you're down in Texas and you happen to see one of these, I'd pick it up immediately. I have no idea what the price point is because I did not look it up. But it is a beautiful, beautiful beer that I would recommend to anybody. And quite honestly, if you can pair it with a little bit of the Heaven Hills Bourbon, you'll see exactly how true to the Heaven Hills barrel it really is, because this really hits spot on with the bourbon barrel that it was created in. Anyway, folks, I hope you've enjoyed the episode. Once again, this is Disassociation by Celestial Beerworks. Definitely one I would pick up if you see out there. Once again, I'd like to thank Will for sending this in. And, you know, if you like the review, hit that like button, subscribe, drop a comment down below. And I'm going to sit back and enjoy the two of these, and I'll see you next time on End of the Day Beer Review. Cheers!